Alright, so today we're tuning a 2004 Evo 8, and this car has 12,000 miles on it. I almost don't want to like tune it or do anything, but it's modified. It has 272 cams, I believe, June 272, and it has an FP Green, the old school. And basically, you know, usual mods, the SD 1200 injectors and exhaust, but it has a high flow cap. The customer still wanted the intake to look normal, so the MAF is still there, but we're not using the MAF. It is a little restrictive, especially for aftermarket turbos that are larger, but we're gonna see. My goal for this car is to make the power, yes, but more to keep a really nice feeling, and you know, everything feels natural. It has a manual boost control. So right as I flash the injectors, flash the base map. I'm tuning the injectors now. You can follow on, you can watch one of those other videos that I made on how to tune injectors, how to scale them, to see what I'm doing right now. So basically I'm going to go for a drive and scale the injectors.
Link engaged.
Can you give me something so I can take off the battery on the road?
Yes.
It's a 10 millimeter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, give me. Yeah. So one of the pain of tuning the pre-Evo 10s is to reset the fuel trims. Anytime you make adjustments, you gotta take out the battery and then reset the fuel trims and redo everything from scratch, well, meaning the driving part of it. So it's a pain in the ass. That's why I just asked Mo, let me get something to take off the battery in the road, because I'm not trying to come back. I mean, it's idling pretty well on the base map. Stock clutch, which feels great. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. Some people ask me what my favorite clutch is. I mean, it all depends on, you know, what you're trying to use your car for. But if we're not considering power, if we're not considering anything, stock or Exetti twin disc, my favorite. Those are my two. But at the same time, if I had to go for power, what is the clutch that I hate? Tilton, 8-leg, OS Geiken. Jesus Christ! Like, if you leave your mouth open and you're shifting, yo, that shit like will break your teeth. Shatter. So right now I'm driving around. Other than scaling the injectors, I'm also checking for the way the car quote unquote feels. This is a human quantity. I don't know how you can quantify this, but there is an X factor. There is such thing as feel. I have driven cars that are smooth and rough, and even the rough ones feels better than the smooth ones. You know, it all depends on a variable of various variables, and that's basically what I'm checking for. Would I want to daily this car? Would I want to keep this car, buy this car? That's basically what I'm trying to feel everything out, and adjusting tunes, bits here and there as I need to change the quote unquote feel. This car is kind of all over the place, meaning I don't know if it's the tires or whatever, but it's kind of loose. Maybe I'm used to like suspensions and dropped and really hooked up cars. So now that I've scaled the injectors and kind of did the park throttle, cruise, idle, and you know what the car will normally, 99% of the time, will see. It feels pretty good, except for I think he needs suspension work or maybe tires or something. We'll address that when the customer gets here, but I'm pretty confident about the car. It feels good. One other thing I noticed was the car during shifts. There's a little vibration when I hit a little throttle. It just feels like something is rubbing, or you know, so it's not as smooth as it could be. Given the car's 12,000 miles, I'm pretty sure there's nothing physically wrong with any of the stock parts, and I think it's the aftermarket modifications that are causing all this. So that was our base run. It was made to 280 on 20 pounds or 21 pounds of boost, and it was running extremely rich by design. I always start very rich, and I lean it out as I figure out what the car likes to do.
What?
Turn the boost controller 2 times.
Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise.
Increase the boost.
Yes. That's the issue with manual boost control. It's manual. We have to manually change it. I'm just having a little fun. I'm trying to convey my dislike for manual boost controls, even though it's easier to, I guess, tune. Just don't have that much control over what's happening with the boost when you have a manual boost controller. So according to Hallman, one 360 degrees turn of the knob should produce 1 psi to 2 psi, but after a certain point I think that changes, and we really don't know what position we're in. So I am right now calibrating timing and feel for the areas that I think I might hit on a high boost, and the parts that I think will hit if my predicted boost is correct. So I'm already smelling the clutch. And we're not even making that much power. that was at 22 pounds, running like 10 and 9 AFR, and we made like 319. I'm still dialing everything in, nothing's still doing boost and fuel. It's a little easier on manual. You just click it and it just, you know, does the same curve every time. But it's not as rewarding as it is on, I would say, electronic transmission. At least not to me. This car loves fuel. I had it at 11.1, 11.2. It didn't want to, like, it was lower timing, it was still not. So it was added a lot of fuel and richer than I would normally take it, and all the knocks went away. 12 pounds, like 2 or 3 pounds. I sacrificed some torque for it, but, you know, safety first. Okay, probably the last one, because I really don't want to push the car with the clutch like this. Something is rubbing. Something is happening. Something is rubbing. Did you check his downpipe? His exhaust? So the whole time I was dynoing the car, I felt like something was rubbing or downpipe hitting something, or like it basically feels like he has very stiff motor mounts, like you would have with solid motor mounts all around. Car kind of feels like that. And, you know, causing a lot of vibration. This is probably the reason why it's showing low level knocks and whatnot on low boost and even on low timing. So I'm basically asking him to, you know, make sure everything is all right, and he's saying no, everything is fine, everything is fine. But later on we'll find out what is actually wrong. I'm gonna roll it. We'll do a run and check. I definitely feel it. So we made 371 on the last run, and we figured out what it was. Apparently this car has a Megan Racing O2 housing and is not using a donut, and no spring bolt. So it's not leaking, but that's causing a serious vibration. The downpipe doesn't actually have a flex pipe in it as well. So the downpipe, when made it to the, you know, the O2 housing, it's basically one complete stiff, no flex opportunity all the way to, I guess, the rear exhaust, which is causing serious vibrations and causing low level knocks. So knowing this, I adjusted the knock sensor slightly in the mid-range and adjusted the fuel and timing a bit, and we're going for our run. I decided to stop here because the client needs some hardware changes, and this car will greatly benefit from having a a stronger clutch and a fuel change, because we are running on 93 and this is, it was 90 something degrees that day. If he switches to E85, he'll make significant amount of more power. And I think as it is, I've held back around 20 or somewhere in that range, 20 more horsepowers. Better safe than sorry. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to subscribe.